I don't know if I can see the up to date. I'm going to go full screen. All right. Let us know. Fishing friends, what's happening? I know this is a little surprise broadcast, huh? Somebody comment in the old comment section and let me know. Are we working?
Hey-o.
Is it working? Hopefully it's working. I see Vibo Chan. Ray EB says woot woot.
TV right now.
Hey Ray, what's up, man? Hopefully this works. Ray, somebody out there, let me know. We might have a delay since there's all three of us on, but somebody's got to let us know if we're working.
I think we're live.
Is it working? Is it actually working?
It looks golden.
Mike says, "Holy crap! We got live video. It worked. Are all of us on?
It's on my TV right now."
Jen? Oh my god! I think it's working. I see some things popping in. Try screen. Oh my gosh, we are on. What is happening, friends? Welcome to another episode. So I trashed OBS. It did me dirty a couple times. I tried to have some guests on. So I went over to StreamYard. Mr. Rudd uses this. Hellabass uses this. Hellabass was nice in answering some questions for me. And it looks like we're working. So this is awesome. This is a surprise because I got Randizzle, whoops, over here. Jim, down here. We got the tackle junkie with us.
What's going on, fellas?
We're just going to talk some spring fishing and have fun. So I hope you all are ready to have some fun on a Saturday night. I'm a little upset because the Hawks lost, so they're not going to the Big Ten championship. They forgot how to play basketball, dummies. But yeah, I'm happy to be here, fellas. What's happening, Dizzle? What do you got going on over there? Can you hear me, Dizzle? You still there? Did we lose you?
He's froze over here.
Whoa, I missed a bunch of it. I heard what do you got going on over there? And then that was
that was it. And I stopped talking because I was annoyed.
So what happened after that? Oh, what do I have going on?
What's
literally
up?
Nothing. I tried going out and fishing today, and for whatever reason, I just wanted to throw swim bait type of bait, swim jig, swim bait. Did I say swim jig? Swim bait. Just a bunch of swimming baits, and I got nothing except for wet socks because the bank is still pretty muddy and gross.
but you did catch your first fish. I think that's what we're going to lead off with. Guys, thanks for joining us. We're just going to have fun tonight. We're going to talk some spring lures. Each of us have finally got on the board with an open water fish, so we're going to talk tackle. I mean, of course, we've got the tackle junkie, so we have to talk some tackle.
You got to talk tackle, man.
Yeah, for sure. I love talking tackle. Some spring tactics. I'm honestly just absolutely pumped that it worked. I can't believe it worked.
It looks good too. I like it.
Yeah, and StreamYard has some cool stuff. Like I can do this. Does that show up for all of you on there? Can everybody see that question when I pop it
on my TV?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
That is super cool. So you can't do this with OBS. I can pick.
Sir.
So Mr. Zapita says, "What up, Randizzle?" I can pick like certain questions and pop them up. I know I'm easily amused. I'm a Midwest guy, so this high fandangled fancy stuff gets me going. But Randizzle, you got on the board. What did you catch your first open water fish on in 2021? What was it?
So I'm a little bit embarrassed to actually say this. So
don't be embarrassed.
I went out
and
realistically, honestly, hand on a stack of Bibles, I went out to look because Deebo and I had planned on going fishing this weekend. So I was like, let me go check the lakes around here to see if they're actually open or not. And there's a spot that we normally go to that I was like, oh yeah, this is open. Let me try to throw something. So I grabbed my spinning rod, and on the spinning rod, there was a Ned head. I was like, okay, I'm not going to really catch anything on a Ned head. So I actually got these, I don't know if you can really see it. They're Lunker Hunts. They are a 1/4 ounce, 3-inch finesse swim baits. And this is actually kind of what it looked like. And literally I just, on a spinning rod, casted it in and bang. Like literally I thought I was just stuck on, some of the old dead underwater like weeds, and then my line just screamed. And honestly, I didn't grab my scale. I was trying to keep this thing from freaking out, and I caught a slimy snake. If I had to guess,
Dude, that was
probably
a chunk. That was a chunk
between
of a pike.
7 to 10 pounds. That thing looked like it ate at least 2 softballs. The gut on it was just massive. So it was like,
I'm proud of you. I love catching pike.
Once I held it up and took a couple of pictures, and thank you. Once I talked to the 4 people driving by asking me what I caught it on and where I caught it at, and of course I said in the mouth. They drove off, and I got it released and swam off. So that's my early season fish so far, open water.
Awesome. Hey, you know what, Randizzle, I'm proud of you for catching that.
Good job, bud. Good job.
I was really bummed out. I looked around. I looked right and left and right, like multiple times, and a net wasn't there, and Deebo wasn't there with his turkey gloves. So.
Oh, the turkey glove story.
Myself.
What a jerk. Hey, I did put scissors in my truck though because of you. They're really handy, just to let you know. Jim, I saw some pictures of you catching some fish.
They're so handy.
Caught a few. I've been out twice so far. We've been thawed for about 10 days. Let me ask you guys something. When you guys first go out after the thaw, are you throwing what you should be throwing, or do you throw what you want to throw?
I try to throw what I should be throwing,
but it's also answer that, then I will.
It's also a spinnerbait season 2, so it's like that's what I want to throw. That's one of the things I throw, but kind of back and forth. Were you throwing something you shouldn't be throwing?
Well, I always like to start out with a moving bait. So, of course, I wanted to reach for a spinnerbait, but I scaled down a little bit to an underspin, and that's what I caught. I've caught 5 fish so far. And the biggest one so far was about 3 3/4. That was the biggest one that I posted just the other day.
Dang.
And it's kind of funny though. On my first time out, right after the thaw, my very first cast, I caught my first fish. And isn't that kind of like a deal? Like your first cast, isn't that kind of like a curse or something like that? And I was kind of thinking to myself,
if you're superstitious,
I was kind of thinking to myself, look, I haven't made a cast in 3 months, and I make one cast and I catch a fish. I thought maybe I could be like doomed for the whole year after that, but I did catch a couple more little ones that day, and then I went out yesterday with a buddy, and we did have a cold front come in, but I really thought they would chase yesterday. So I didn't bring any finesse gear, nothing like that. Of course, I had spinner baits, and I had underspins and chatterbaits on. And the net head, man, it whipped my butt yesterday. A buddy of mine had a net head, and like I said, I ended up catching only one on that pond that we were at. But, dude, he probably caught 15 pounds, a few 3-pounders, and a couple that I'm pushing 2, all on a net head on a grass line. And like I said, I didn't bring any of the net head stuff. But after he left, I went to another pond and caught that 3 3/4. So, but after that, I'll probably never forget the net head at home, just because it whipped me, man.
Yeah, when the bite gets slow, to the Ned we go. That's what I usually say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fish catcher, and I think so. We were looking up last time, and I think Jim's only like 4.5 hours away from us, Randizzle.
Right.
So in a couple weekends, we might just need to make the trip and throw some gear in and go.
Let's do it.
You can ride in the back of my truck, Randizzle. I got a cover for it now,
Missouri?
so you can just lay back there.
I'm in Illinois. I'm only 20 minutes from St. Louis.
Illinois.
Oh, you're that far south. So you're only 20 minutes from St. Louis?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, still.
Yes, that's like a 4.5 hour drive. 5 hour drive.
You guys just got ice out like 10 days ago. That's
10 days
crazy.
ago, yeah.
We've got, let's see, I'm going to try to catch up on some comments. I saw Chad Hoover was in here. Chad, what's up, man? Chad actually said he might be over toward the Iowa way sometime. So if I can get hooked up with Chad, that'd be kind of cool. I don't have a kayak. He could school me on the kayak stuff. I've got an aluminum kayak. I don't know if he'd be seen with a guy in an aluminum kayak, but
Deebo, Garrett Hoffman saying do some catfishing this summer.
I don't have anything against catfishing.
You want to go drown some worms and some stink bait?
So that's my thing is I despise just sitting with rods there not doing anything. Like I hate it. And I'm not a go out and have, be doing the adult beverage thing while I'm sitting there, fishing. That's not my thing. Like if I'm fishing, I want to be fishing.
Right.
So like if I could catch catfish on something moving, like I literally just hate to throw stuff out and just sit there. Otherwise,
believe it or not, I have 1 day bass fishing.
I guess. Oh, go ahead.
believe it or not, I had 1 day bass fishing. I didn't catch any bass, but I caught 3 catfish fishing 4-inch tubes, Texas rigged.
What? Really?
Yeah. Yeah. 2 of them were actually 2 6-pounders, 1 2 pounds. No bass that day. 3 catfish on tubes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was. It was crazy.
Honestly, catfish are gonna hit anything and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've hooked up on a catfish on a square bill and an underspin both. And I was like, what are you even doing with your life? Why are you eating this? It's not stinking.
I've got a few on spinnerbaits too.
Yeah, square bill and chatterbait seem to be the big ones. I think they're just going off that vibration, with their whole whiskery things, feeling the vibrations. Yeah. But yeah, somebody said Dizzle is lagging. Yeah, I'm not sure. Jim was lagging earlier. Now he's perfect. Now Dizzle's lagging. I don't know. I'm trying to get used to the whole StreamYard thing. I'm not sure, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not a tech savvy guy. I'm here in Iowa, so I don't know much on the tech stuff. But yeah, somebody said Dizzle's connection is, I don't know.
Tell you about corn if you need some corn.
Let's see. What else do we have? Do we have any?
I mean, if you want me to, I can. Yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot of questions come by other than the.
This is kind of cool that I can throw fun questions and stuff up there. Pima said.
And any comment you click on, you bring up there?
Yeah, I can click on questions and bring it up here. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a new thing and people already know this. I'm easily amused, guys, but this StreamYard thing's pretty cool. It's easy to use too. So, yeah, Randizzle's probably outside on the Walmart parking lot, hacking some free internet right now. Randall, get internet at your house so you don't have the.
Well,
the
I was gonna do the overnight sleep, catch and cook the next day, but Walmart kicked me out. So
Walmart booted you out of their thing. Okay, so let's see. How about me? I got on the board today. I caught a bass on the faithful Cotton Cordell Super Spot, a gold 1/2 ounce lipless crankbait, throwing it, and it was actually, I didn't even know I was going to catch it on this, but I just got done filming a video on that old Shimano Curado Bantam. So from the mid 90s, that guy took it completely apart, had some success on testing the casts after I cleaned it and put new bearings in it. And then I just wanted to take it out today and see how it felt. It's still kind of noisy, but that video will be coming up soon. But pretty cool, bringing back some of that old stuff, bringing it to life, cleaning it up. But I only caught one today. I had, I think, 1 or 2 more bites on the lipless, and then I just kept getting snagged in brush piles. I tried some other stuff, but no luck. So I was just happy to get on the board. So that'll be in a video coming soon. But what else? So I know there were some people asking about the giveaway. So if you all watched a video not too long ago, I got some do-it molds and started making my own jigs, specifically finesse jigs, Ned rigs. And then, of course, y'all know I paint my own crankbaits. I'm going to do a package today with some of my own custom crankbaits, some finesse jigs, some Ned heads, and send it out to one of you lucky fishing friends. The only deal is you have to be on the stream to get it later. So I'm going to say, here's the deal. Are you on? If somebody's here to claim it, I'm just going to pick a random person. Then just get me your information. I'll send you over a little box of stuff. Hopefully catch some stuff. But anyway, I just want to get back to you guys. So we're going to do a giveaway. But the rest of the night, we're just going to be talking tackle. We're, 13 minutes in. We've got 217 awesome people watching us. Blows my mind that we have that many people watching on live. So thank you guys for joining in, watching. We're just here to talk tackle and have fun. So I'm going to try to jump to some questions as I'm going through. We have some
real
people.
Fast. You said you put bearings in that reel. What bearings did you go with?
So normally I go with Speed Spool. I've actually got to meet Scott over at Speed Spool, and I would recommend him to anyone. He's a super nice guy. Good bearings. I put him in a few of my reels. This one is actually, I put some Cat 5. I don't have the can over here. Category 5 sent me a thing of bearings, said, hey, you don't need to show us off or anything. Just try them out and give us your opinion. But, I give credit where it's due. Right. And I said, you know what, we're going to try them in here. I think actually the spool shaft on this is broken. You'll kind of see in the video. But even when I turn this free spool without any lures on here, like when you press the thumb bar down and try to spin the spool, you can hear it rubbing on something. So that kind of stinks. The guy that I bought it from, I found a good deal on it here locally. But he said he was using it for like musky and heavy baits.
Gotcha.
So unfortunately, I think it kind of got bent. I don't want to spend money on a new spool, but I was telling Jim, I cleaned it up, put new bearings in it. And I was actually able to throw it pretty far, like, up to par with a lot of the current day reels. It's kind of noisy, but yeah, cool little change. Cat 5 bearings in there. They spin pretty well. So yeah,
that's cool.
Otherwise, normally Scott over at Spool Speed, he's a nice cat.
That's cool.
I know there's like Boca bearings. I know you've done bearing work. Yeah,
Boca's easily
down to the back end. If you ever see Scott on his stuff, Boca bearing. Is that what you said you went with?
Jim? Yeah, usually Boca is what I go with. Yeah, I haven't done upgrades in a long time, but years ago when I was doing it, Boca bearings is what I went with. Yeah, it's
fun. Yeah, I like tinkering. I'm a nerd when it comes to that stuff. Tearing stuff apart. Let's see. Ice is almost melted in northeastern Iowa.
Yeah, I just tend to use what I get.
I think we've got a slight delay. You look better now, though, Dizzle. You're not all pixely.
Oh, thank you.
As I said that, there's a delay. Okay, well, you keep doing good in the Walmart parking lot there, buddy. What else do we have? Somebody else said they caught a pike on a spinnerbait. I love catching pike on spinnerbaits. I'm not a tournament guy. I can understand being a tournament guy and catching those and cutting you off. I love catching them. They're fun.
I did see somebody say do a hair reveal. We were talking about that earlier.
Oh my gosh! So you guys might want to check it out. This is the last night for. I mean, it's long enough. I can braid it. Like my old lady could. My wife can braid this. But after this show, it's all getting buzzed off. So
how about if this stream gets like what 1,000 likes? I don't know what you usually get. If it gets 1,000 likes, you have to shave your head.
Dude, I will never bick it. So, for example, you and Randy are both very handsome bald men. Don't take that in any strange way. I just think you're both handsome men with bald heads. Some people look good bald. I, on the other hand, have cauliflower radar ears, and I do not look good. I shaved it once before a fight, and I look like an idiot. So I will never shave my head ever again. And I shaved my face and everything. Oh, my gosh. Talk about looking horrible. But anyway, we digress. Jim and I were joking about that before the stream, as I was going to pull my hair back in a braid and cut it off, and that was going to be the giveaway winner.
In the middle up here, right in the middle.
A top knot.
Oh, that'd be great, dude. Who wants to see that? Let's see in the comments here.
We're not doing that. No, it's getting shaved off after this. Let's see. So we got people talking about catfish baits. I know I'm kind of behind.
People just do it.
I'm not putting it in a bun. No.
Look, they want to see it, man.
Nobody wants to see that.
They do. Doug and Brady, they both want to see it.
Somebody said
farm. It's a done deal, man.
Tipo Hero. I did see. Is Randall Pink Floyd in here? Mr. Randall Pink Floyd, not you, Randall, a different Randall. Is a great guy. So he's got on my case. He sent me some awesome old school. I mean, a ton of cool old school blanks to paint, and I haven't done it. I feel like a jerk. Randall, if you're in here. So he sent me some pre the whole storm with warts. He sent me all kinds of cool stuff, and he's like, dude, you better get to painting them because that's what I sent them to you for. I feel like a jerk. I'm going to paint some of those up soon and send them over his way because he was nice enough to do that. But okay, so let's go into, so guys, leave your questions in the comments on the side. I'm going to bring your comment up if you guys didn't know that. So for example, if I bring Wyatt Smith's over here, Wyatt Smith says, "What's up, you cool cats and kittens?" I don't know what that means, but Randall, you're probably the kitten. I can bring your comments up. I'm amused by this, but leave your comments on the side. We're going to try to answer any questions we can. Go into some spring stuff, but I know one thing I wanted to talk about tonight was maybe one or two baits that we're looking to throw this spring that you're maybe not comfortable with or that you don't normally throw. So, for example, I'll lead off. For me, is going to be wake baits. Like, I'm not comfortable with wake baits. I feel there's a fine line between if they're hitting a wake bait, why wouldn't they just hit a topwater? You know, a walking bait, a frog, a buzz bait. And if they're not hitting a topwater, I'll usually just go to something like subsurface. Like I'll throw a spinnerbait or, an underspin, something like that. So it's like I don't really feel confident in them, and I don't really. The more you throw a bait in certain conditions, you understand it. And I don't feel like I'm at the point where I know, oh, this would be a good time to throw a wake bait. Like I just kind of feel lost with those, to be honest. So wake baits, I tried making my own rat wake bait. It turned out kind of crummy. I have a lot of respect for those guys that hand carve wooden baits, but I've got some, some of the little lipped wake baits. I did get like one CL8. I think that's the name of the company. They have like a wake mole. I think it's like 8 inches or something like that. It was pretty cool. I picked up one of theirs. I need to unbox that stuff soon. So I've got a few of those. And then the other thing, like I said last year, is like some big glide bait. So I still never caught a fish on a 6-inch or larger glide bait. So that's something I still want to catch a fish on. Again, I'm not confident. I know I need to take out only a couple of those combos, fish only those for the day, and be ready to catch only a couple fish, right? And as a YouTuber, especially like a YouTuber with a full-time job still, I'm pressed for time because I might only have 3 days I can go out and fish. So it's like I'll throw the wake bait or the glide bait for a couple hours, and if I don't catch a fish, I'm going over to something else that I have more confidence in because I need to get content.
Right.
Damn it! You know?
Yeah, we talked about that before, right? Yeah, your best thing is not to bring any other rods, but if you do,
right.
I don't give it an hour max. Then I got to grab something else. I need a video. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So those are mine. So who's going next? One of you handsome gentlemen go next.
Well, I'd agree with you on the swim bait. I've only I only have really S waivers as far as a bigger like hard plastic swim bait goes, and I've only caught really I think 1 or 2 fish on it, and I think it was probably smaller than the bait. Yeah, I just don't have a ton of confidence in them. It's something I would like to do more, but like we said, I would have to leave everything else at home to do it, just because if I'm not getting bit, I'd rather just grab something I have more confidence in, like a square bill or a spinnerbait, something like that. But definitely big swim baits for me. And then, like I said, a buddy of mine that I always fish with, he always whips me on finesse, whether it be a shaky head or a drop shot or just like the other day, Ned head. So I need to concentrate more on that as well. It's just not my style of fishing. I just can't sit there and just, drown a worm. I know I need to most of the time, but I just rather do something more fast paced. But definitely for me, bigger swim baits and more finesse fishing.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mr. Dizzle.
I think it's pretty funny that you're like, I kind of want to be, I don't want to sit there and I don't want to wait, drown in a worm. And I'm like, yeah, I totally want to do the same thing. But then I'm like, well, I will sit on a spot with a jig if I get a hit, and I will pitch and pitch and pitch and pitch and pitch until I get that fish to bite again. But I will go along the same routes, unfortunately, as both of you. I want to try to do a swim bait. I know last year, I think it was last year, me and Deebo went out, kind of early like this, and he had a big fish, and, he started talking, oh, I got a big one. It's a good one. And then it popped off. And I laughed at him, of course. And then I went back to it because it was, in my local area, 2-3 days, 2 or 3 days later, and I actually caught it. It was, close to a 4-pound bass. And swim baits, I want to try to catch them. I want to try to use them more, and things like that. And the drop shot, I wish there was a better way to tie the drop shot. It's cumbersome. It's annoying. It's just like, come on, man, be easier than what you are.
I might have some help on the drop shot. One of my, I don't know if Philip Cheek is in here. My guy Philip sent me some. It was a local company that does like pre-made drop shot rigs, which is pretty neat. So we could do like some sort of Midwest ingenuity pre-made drop shot rig. I've seen people do like, I forget what the rig is, but they'll put it like those rigs rolled up on like a floaty tube.
Yeah,
they'll have those rigs ready. I don't know what it is. Some sort of, I don't know if it's like a trot line type rig or what. Yeah, I would assume. I don't know. But dude, we could totally do that for drop shot rigs with like, I guess, a little split, like a little swivel. And then you just tie that to swivel and have
do
all
that
of
with
them
like Carolina rigs, right?
I don't know. I've never done that with the Carolina rig.
Seems like I remember guys doing that too, making leaders up. Yeah.
Carolina rig package.
I don't know. Maybe that's something to market and sell. Pre-made Deebo drop shot, guaranteed to catch dinks, at least a half pounder.
At least a half pounder you call a pound and a halfer. No big deal.
Yeah. Oh my God, shut up. Josh Robbins says, thoughts on the Lose Classic Pro? Yeah, man, it's been a solid reel. $59 reel. I haven't had any problems with mine, but yeah, I liked it. What else do we got? People talking about my hair. I'm that far behind. You guys must have saw all these coming in when you were talking about my hair. Yeah, go ahead, Dizzle.
Yeah, I saw one about what's your overall line test, either mono or floral? Personally, if I had to float around, I'm going at least a 15-pound floral. I feel like I can use the majority of my baits that I throw with a 15-pound floral.
That's my favorite. That's my go-to as well. If I only could pick one, it'd be 15-pound fluorocarbon.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Let's see. Swamp Cabbage.
I know that one day, Deebo, we took your dad's boat out. You were throwing like a... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, I think you're slightly delayed, Randall. Sorry.
Yeah, just a smidge. So I'll just go ahead and do this real quick. That day that we went out in your dad's boat, you were throwing, I think, 12-pound mono, and I was trying to throw like a 15-pound floral. I got away with it, but not nearly as much as the success that you did. So it's one of those universal baits. So anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do. So, you know, if you're throwing like a Topwater, I think I had like 12 or 14-pound mono on. You know, obviously mono floats and fluorocarbon doesn't. So it depends on the situation, what you're trying to get into. But like, if we're just talking about all around, I just use 15-pound fluorocarbon is usually my go-to. But let's see. Somebody said the reverse mohawk. I said somebody said do a mullet. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll cut it in stages. I'll do a mullet first, and then I'll cut the whole rest of it and have just a mullet, just like a little mohawk up top, and then finally on a live, I'll just be like, you know what? Here's the last of it.
Well, don't they do that? They do it up here and they shave all around it, right?
I don't know. Is that a thing?
If you start the mullet, I'll start mine.
Is that a skullet? I don't even know. Let's see. What else? I thought I saw a couple good questions coming. Oh, and it flips to the bottom. I hate it when it does that. Let's see. Now I got to scroll back up. Oh, here somebody said, "Oh, Doug, my guy Doug."
Real quick, I think I'm probably talking.
Premium series.
No, Doug Stubbs also said, Deebo, why are you being so mean to me?
What? I'm not being mean to Randall. I love Randall. So if people didn't know when we talk to each other, they think we hate each other, but that's how I show I love somebody, when we give each other crap.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
there's nothing. There's not a whole lot better of.
I think it is
trash.
I think it's what the sumo wrestlers do.
Oh, sumos. Okay.
That's what they do.
You know how you get on random random things on YouTube? So I watched a sumo thing of, I forget what his name is, but he's from Georgia, not Georgia, US, Georgia, the country. Georgian sumo wrestler. And I got on like a binge of watching his stuff. And I watched him win in like 2000. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, down a really weird rabbit hole. I used to do MMA. I honestly don't even watch MMA anymore. But I had that pop up and I watched this thing and it was super fun to watch. I didn't know anything about sumo wrestling and I went down that rabbit hole and it looked fun. Anywho, sorry, we digress. Let's see, where do we go from there? Okay, let's talk about a couple baits. We're a half hour and we still have 250 people watching, even though we've got a delay, and I'm talking about sumo wrestling. Are there any other new lures or anything you've seen on the market, or any?
You might as well shave your head.
I might as well just shave it on screen. We're going down that path. Oh Lordy. Are there any pieces of gear or any certain lures that not necessarily? What's that?
I'm looking forward to. I know you have the reel. I'm looking forward to getting that. It's the Lose skipping reel.
Oh yeah.
I do have a couple of those on order. They're not in here yet, but I would like to compare that one to the Curado DC. I got a couple of videos on skipping with the DC. I mean, that reel's, it's a dream to skip with, and I'm curious if that new Lose one is as good as, like I said, that Curado DC.
Interesting. Do you have the SLX DC?
I do. Haven't used that one yet. I do have that one though, but I do believe those two have the same braking system, so I'd imagine they would handle the same.
I think
probably just upgraded gears in the Curado.
Yeah, I think they're very similar. I don't even know. Like, I'd have to look and see what the differences are. I've never used the Curado DC.
Mm-hmm.
But that'd be fun to mess with and try. But yeah, I'm interested to see the difference between those two, because I think there was a thing on like KVD had like the thing on Instagram I saw where he's like, I thought I was decent at skipping before, and then he skips with the skip and pitch lose, and he's like, I'm a magician now, or something like that.
Right.
I'm like, oh, that's a bold statement, KVD.
I mean, you can do the same thing with the DC and not even put your thumb on the spool. I mean, I think that DC is that good, you know.
Right.
I'm just curious, you know. What's that real retail?
The skip and pitch, I think $199.
Yeah. Oh, it's $200. So what, the Curado's like what, $240, something like that? Yeah, and the SLX would be $180 or so.
80. Yep, correct.
So it's right there in the middle. Yeah, I'm just curious if it's as good as the DC reels. But those DCs, man, I think my wife, she's probably never skipped before. I think I could give her the DC reel that she could probably skip within 10 minutes. I mean, it's that good, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't used any of the. I have the regular Curado. It's a solid reel, but I haven't used the DC. Randall, what you got over there? Looks like you're loaded up for a question or a comment.
Bulldog. I was just saying, 0017 Bulldog. TJ's got the voice for radio, Dizzle's got the face for radio, and Deebo's got it all.
That's great. Deebo's a stud, you know. I can't deny it, dude.
I would have the face and voice for radio if people who were listening were blind and deaf, for sure. Let's see. Okay, let's see if this works. I got so I can't put it up on screen. I did finally get a donation. I wondered how that was going to work. Thank you very much, Lucian Revelade. Is that how you say it? I'm sorry. Just saw you were live and had to stop in. Got back into fishing not that long ago, and I love your channel. It's been a massive help, and you and Rain Dizzle are hilarious. Never change, gents. Brother, thank you very much for dropping the donation. I appreciate that a ton. That was the only thing I didn't know if I would be able to see when people donate. I think you were the first donation tonight, so thank you very much. And of course, I never ask for donations. You guys don't need to donate, but I just try to make sure I call out everyone in case you have a question and you donate. It means a lot to me. You know, all of us are me, Randy, and Jim are all just regular guys who love to fish. So the fact that you guys watch us and donate literally blows my mind. But I can speak for all of us and say that we all do appreciate it.
Yep.
Let's see. What do we have? Let's try to get to a couple questions.
I mean, I just have to throw in there real quick. Sometimes I do hate to fish.
What? What do you mean you hate to fish?
Oh, come on. I've had to tuck you off the ledge a couple of times there, buddy.
Oh, so we're talking about when we're having a bad
There's been
day.
those days. Those days.
We've all been there.
Maybe how's that song go? Had a bad week, had a bad day, something like that.
Had a bad day again.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, there's those times that you're just like, man, I don't even want to go fish. And then, you know, that slunch donkey hits your lure and you're like, I love fishing. I got to do it more.
Yep. Like we've talked about, when in doubt, send it out. If you're ever in doubt and you only have an hour, go out and fish anyway. Let's see. So fish in the Southeast, 100%. Just because I can throw it up here, I'm going to throw it up here. He said, sup, Deebo, my Curado K is sounding a little grindy and just not like it should. Do you know how to fix it? Probably just needs a good cleaning, a good greasing. Usually it's the main gear when it sounds grindy. I'm going to do a live, and I don't know, Jim, if you'd like to join me, Randy, we can all kind of hop in and do a reel cleaning together. I know I had some people donate to that before and say, would you do a reel cleaning? I thought it would be fun to do one live. I don't know how I do it because usually when I'm doing it live, I've got like a webcam up here on top of my monitor. So I don't know if I'd have to get like a TV tray here and try to figure it out, because I can do this whole thing. You can see my sweet iBuy power.
No, I got you.
But
here's how we do it. I'll just come over. I'll bring my tripod and I'll use my phone to do your hands or your face down version of
that'd be cool.
You know, on the reel itself. And you can clean all of my reels, and then we could just go that route.
Sounds like a good deal. How long does it take you, Deebo, when you do a reel? How long does it take you?
If I'm not doing a video or anything, probably 45 minutes to get it completely clean, stripped. Well, but I mean, there's dead time in between because I'll throw like my parts in.
Like I'm talking full process. Like full process.
Probably an hour and a half, I'd say total.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It usually takes me about 3-4 hours the way I like to do them. Yeah, but you do them pretty much the same way I do them. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, but like, so most of them I don't strip
scares
because if it's like a new reel, or like a reel that I've taken care of, usually I don't strip it all the way. But if it's like a brand new reel that's like that Curado, like when I had to do this and like, so I've never done an old Curado like this one before. There's a couple hiccups you'll see in the video, and I put them in there just for people to see. But I read later on, because I was looking up stuff in between the video shots, and some people had those issues too. But usually if it's like a regular reel, yeah, I would say probably an hour or hour and a half, you know, if it's not horrible, if you don't have to strip everything off the frame.
Gotcha.
Okay, what else? We had a couple other donations come in. Make sure. Oh my God, Doug
I just worry about like.
Go ahead, Dizzle.
Yes, Doug. Read Doug's comments. That's no. I was going to say read Doug's comments. He's a good guy. I appreciate his input here.
Doug is a good guy. I don't know his comments. I did see he just sent a donation in. Said for the shipping fee, Dizzle, DM your address. I got a box for you too. Doug's a really good guy. We've talked offline before. Steve, Deebo, waiting on a loose KVD reel. Are you still throwing yours? Updated thoughts. Yeah, I'm still throwing mine. I haven't thrown it this year. I threw it last year to try it out and stuff. Good reel, solid reel. I like it. I have no complaints on it so far. Dizzle, are you still throwing yours? Do you have one of those reels?
On what? I'm sorry?
The lose? I don't know. The thing went away, and I don't know that I can go back and find. I'm new to this. I'm sorry. I'm new.
This KVD, the KVD reel.
Do you have one of those?
Oh, no, I don't have a KVD reel. I thought you did, though, and I threw yours a couple of times, and I was actually really surprised at how it felt. I was torn. I set the bar really, really high because KVD. I mean, come on now. And when I actually used it from DEBO'S, it's like it felt smooth. There was nothing really wrong about it, but at the same time, it wasn't, I guess, at the level in which I thought it probably would have been if it's got KVD's name on it, if that makes any sense.
No, it does.
Deebo, remember when I was asking you about that reel? Remember, because I got the reel in the box by itself, you know? Yeah. I was like, is this thing used? Because there was no paperwork, no nothing in it. And anyways, so I was thinking about that all night, talking to you about it. And I got to looking at the reel. I'm like, wait a second here. I didn't order a left-hand reel. So yeah, that wasn't even the right. You know, I fish right-handed. So even after all that, I ended up sending the reel back because it was a left-handed reel.
Oh, that stinks. Yeah, so Jim texted me one night and said, do you have like your actual box you got the loose reel from? Because it didn't come with like an exploded diagram. And I thought that was kind of weird. I was like, no, it should. And I went and checked, and mine didn't either. Mine didn't have an exploded diagram like paperwork with it, which is kind of strange. And I know what you're saying, Randy, because you think like, you know, with KVD's name on it, like it would be
right.
You know, that's kind of strange because I know like a lot of the guys will work with like a company to do their signature reel. So I don't know that they really have a lot to say with, you know, exactly what goes in it and the marketing pieces and the schematics and stuff. You know, they're probably going to use a reel and be like, yep, I think it's cool. How much goes into it? I don't know. You know, you'd have to look at it. But so far, I like the KVD reel a lot. I have no complaints with it. Yeah, other than I did think it was strange. It didn't come with an exploded diagram.
Yeah, it didn't come with anything. I mean, the box was empty. I mean, no paperwork, no warranty card, nothing at all, which I thought was kind of weird. Yeah.
Did it have the little bottle of like lubricant in there with it?
No, nothing. Reel. That was it. I was like, man, this is weird, you know. And something else too. A lot of the loose really reels. Actually, I got one. Actually, where's it at here? Like here's an example. I just got this one in here, the carbon light, and you can see here right on top, it's got the paperwork and all that. It's got the oil in it. And I do believe a lot of the more expensive ones come with that little bottle of oil, but the KVD had, I mean, not even the warranty card, not even how to lube it. It had nothing in there.
Yeah, I would guess because I got mine kind of early. I don't know if the same for you, but I would guess it was a deal where they sent them out and they didn't, I guess, just didn't put them in because usually everything comes with like an exploded diagram. But I don't know. So the thing with the fishing industry right now, and there was another, I want to make sure I call it out now, Ray. Oh, my guy, Ray. Any strong opinions on A-rigs for spring for the price? Are they reasonable for a bank angler? Okay, so to be honest, Ray, I don't usually throw A-rigs. I actually just bought some A-rigs based on my guy, Bass Geek. If you want to see somebody throw A-rigs, look up Basque, Alex Rugg throws them a lot. I don't, but I just ordered from, what did he call it? Basque told me about some.
Doesn't he talk about the umbrella?
Not the umbrella. I have a Yum Finesse. These are from, what's it called? Shane's Baits. So I just ordered from Shane's Baits. They've got a couple different mini finesse rig and mini me is what they call them. So it's basically a downside. So like here in Iowa, I can only throw a 2-hooked umbrella rig or Alabama rig. So I like it. It makes no sense for me to use one with like 8 different hangers where you can put jigs on them, or, you know, like the actual like swim bait deals. Maybe, I guess, and you could just do the bottom too, but I kind of wanted a finesse version of that. So I went with Shane's Baits after I asked Basque about them. But I know there's a lot of guys out there that throw them. I really don't. I want to get into it. That's kind of another thing. But
yeah, I was going to say that too. It's something else I'd like to get into as well.
Let's see. We did have a question come through. I did have a couple questions. Peter the Cheater said, "Hey, Deebo, did you ever use the Okuma Psycho Stick? I actually got it out today, and that rod is ridiculous. It is like a $200 rod, so, you know, for $200 you'd expect it to be nice, but yeah, it's legit. It's a sweet rod. Felt good. I was throwing some light baits on it.
Is that the one we used that day?
Yep. Yeah, that's the one we used that day for the casting test.
A little bit harassed.
Yeah. Yeah, so I did another casting test video with some budget reels, and I threw the budget reels on that one because it was rated for smaller lures, because I was using a 1/4 ounce lure. So we're using that, and we ended up getting harassed by security. So you'll see that all in a vid to come. It's pretty funny, but yeah, that Psycho Stick is ridiculous. Hopefully they get. I know Tackle Warehouse had it in stock for a while. Hopefully they get them back. It's a sick rig. We got so I threw a question up. Where can we get that killer TJ81 shirt? Jim, can you still get those?
No, I used to sell these years ago, and to be honest, the guy that was making these for me, he tried to do everything here in the States, and it was just pretty much just too expensive to produce a shirt, so I only had them available for a short time.
I know you had some of your new ones, and you do runs. Like I bought a couple when you posted that on Instagram.
Yeah, every few months, like, I'll take orders. You know.
Okay. So Fab Fishing, be on the lookout. Follow Jim on Instagram. He does that where he'll put like a thing on Instagram. I bought a couple from him. He'll do like certain runs. But so the Ant Farm asked, Daiwa J braid. I love Daiwa J braid. I think it's probably one of the best budget braids out there for the money that you can get. Thoughts, Jim? Have you used it? Randall?
I haven't used that one. I haven't used that one.
I mean, yes, but I also feel like I've had issues with it. Just, you know me, I'm kind of lazy. I just kind of use my Palomar Knot, and obviously I probably shouldn't be with my braid, but I've had other braids that actually hold up pretty well with it. So, I mean,
so do you have a braid that you go to, or like a budget braid that you like?
Me, if I have it, I'll use it. I'm not.
You're breaking up on me, Dizzle. Get closer to the Walmart building. You're completely froze.
All right, what's your go-to braid, Deebo?
Man, I use a bunch of different stuff. The Daiwa J braid has been a really good budget braid for me. I'm trying to think the big stuff. Okay, so actually last year on my Froggen setup, I had somebody, and I'm sorry I don't remember your name. I had a subscribed feature friend send me some Calyx 65-pound braid, and that's like a real cheap budget braid you can get off of Amazon. And I didn't have a single break off the whole year. It's not the smoothest. It's not a real refined braid. I didn't have any break off issues. And to me, that's the biggest thing. I'll take a braid that's a little less smooth and refined.
Gotcha.
If I'm not breaking off over something that's nice and smooth, but I'm breaking off all the time. How about
my go-to braid is FX2 from Sunline. You ever use that one?
Oh, I picked up a roll of that. I didn't put it on last year. I picked up a roll of that based on your suggestion. Yeah,
that's good stuff there. I did pick up some. It's called Dominate braid. It's a cheaper braid to try out. Have you tried that?
Yeah, I got some purple. I got it on a cheap Amazon deal. They had it for like, I don't remember what it was. I don't know if it's going to be good or not. But have you used it?
Haven't used it yet. I picked it up just for like to have a cheaper braid to try. I think it's by Tough Line. It's called Dominate.
Okay.
Yeah, before trying it out.
Gotcha. So the Calyx stuff I ended up looking up, and I think they're owned by Pure Fishing, which is the huge umbrella that owns like Abu Garcia, Fluker,
Berkeley,
Berkeley. I mean, they're just a huge umbrella of stuff. So like it often makes you wonder, I don't know what, so that would be like Berkeley Trilene. Trilene's the, I think do they own Spiderwire too?
I believe so, actually. I believe so.
I think they own Spiderwire. So it makes you wonder, like, is that just, you know, do they relabel stuff? So, for example, my buddy used to work in the warehouse business, and a lot of the breads that would go out, like, are a lot of the same breads they would just repackage under different deals, which is like funny when you think about it. So it's like 3 different packages, but it's the same bread. But Rocky,
that happens a lot.
Yeah, Rocky, before I lose your thing, thank you very much for donating to the stream. Can't wait to see y'all on the boat during a challenge or reel or rod testing. Yeah, man. So my old man retired. Hopefully we're going to be able to get him out on the boat more. If not, I'm just going to steal his boat. You know, I've got the aluminum kayak, so it's not going to be safe for Randills and I. It's only a little 11-footer, but hope to get out more and hopefully can get over to Jim's neck of the woods soon.
That's cool. Yeah, that'd be fun, dude.
Let's see. So let's go through some more questions. We lost Randizzle. I don't know what he's doing, but let's see. Tyler Varnell said, how about those Kistler rods? I haven't got to use them yet, and I'm honestly kind of upset. I need to contact Kistler because they had a great deal on them right before Christmas. Like 50% off is what I got mine for 2 of them. But the bad part is they were getting rid of stock because they came out with the new 2021 versions. So it's like, and they're like, oh, they're 30% lighter and stronger. And I'm like, come on, now I got the old version, damn it.
Well, that's why I got them so cheap, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Then you unload those so the new batch can come in.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got the old ones. They feel great in hand. I haven't got to fish them yet, obviously, because we were all iced over, but I've only heard good stuff about Kistler, so.
Oh, yeah.
Sycamore says, maybe you cut your hair with braid scissors. That would do it. Let's see. So Randy asked, what weight did you fight at, Deebo? I fought at 170, if you can believe that. So I usually walked around at 190, and a couple days before the fight, would go to a very clean, high protein diet, and then the day I would cut water weight. So I'd usually come in, I would cut weight to 170 and come in at about 185. But that's been,
so within a few days you could knock off 20 pounds.
Yeah, within 2 days I'd cut 20 pounds. So the day of, so I'd weigh in the day before, I'd weigh in at 170 pounds, and usually at fight time I'd be back up to 185. So it's a lot of water weight. There's, you know, guys will do like Epsom salt baths. I would just go no solids, only liquid. And then I think Randizzle's saying he's having trouble getting on. What's he saying here? He says, I'm trying to get back on. I don't know. He's having some issues over there. Randizzle's having issues. He's trying to get back on. But, yeah, a lot of fighters do that, and it's like it's not safe. For me, I usually tried to walk around at like 10 pounds over. So, yeah, without getting into it, there's a number of different ways you can do it. You can do sauna suits. You can do, you know, Epsom salt baths. But, yeah, usually I walked around like 10, 15 pounds heavier by the time of
you just get one of them sweatsuits and you do a lot of running and stuff?
Yeah, guys would just get in a sweatsuit. Yeah, one of those latex suits or nylon suits, whatever, and then do like an exercise bike. So let's see. Do I fish a Cinco? Yeah, I love a stick bait. So for me, and I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but Reaction Innovations, the Pocket Rocket, love them. I think it's the best
about that one a while.
Yeah. Otherwise, as far as the best budget stick bait is if you can hit Bass Pro on a sale. They'll do like the big 20 or 25 packs of the Sticko. I think it's the best like budget stick market or stick bait out there on the market.
You use the big bait ones?
I've never used theirs. No,
I think they have bulk packs of those too. I've actually thought Yum started doing that as well. The big bulk packs. Yeah, they might. I've seen a few places doing that. Oh, he said, "How do you fish a Cinco?" I'm sorry. Oh, Randall's back in. Hold on, I have to add him.
Hi, hey.
There he is.
Hey,
are you back?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me now?
100%. You look way better.
Yeah, his connection looks way cleaner too.
Oh,
yeah, you look way better.
Thank you. I try.
Handsome fella.
ravishing.
So yeah, how do I fish a stick bait? I mean, there's really not a wrong way to fish a stick bait, but usually it's going to be throw it out, pop it a couple times, and let it sink. Like the big success of a stick bait is like when you throw one Texas rigged or wacky rig, it's going to kind of like shimmy. Like you'll see both sides of it shaking on the way down. So like if you can do nothing and touch it on the way down and let it just do its shimmy on the way down, that's the big success of a stick bait.
For sure.
Yeah, what was that day, Deebo, that you and I just both clobbered the fish on Senkos?
That's been probably what 4 years ago by now. We were throwing stick baits.
At least 4.
Yeah, we were throwing stick baits on. Gosh, when was that? End of June? Because it was warm out. We were sweating. We were throwing stick baits.
I thought it was before that, but you say it's after that. So we'll meet in the middle and just say June sometime. Yeah.
But yeah, we were throwing a stick bait on the edge of grass lines and stuff, and we each caught probably 40 fish that day. It was stupid. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know that you did like an Instagram thing, and you said something about like a 60+ fish day. And granted, they weren't like slaunches. They weren't like 2, 3, 4, 5 pounders, but it was, I would take that any day over, catching 1 or 2 good fish,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm all about having fun. So if it's a numbers day, I don't really care. I'm not out to catch a 10 pounder every time, like Jim and I have talked about. A lot of times it's just getting film for a YouTube video. And it's like, if you go out and don't catch anything, so if I can go out and catch 30 fish, that's a fun day. But B-Huff Fishing says, what underspins do you use, when and where? So, Jim, I wanted to ask, what was that underspin? It looked like it had like a clear thing on it. I've not seen that one.
This one here, it's from Picasso.
Oh, okay.
And you can buy the jig head separately. So that's what I do. And then you can buy this little harness here. You can buy this separately as well. It just, I think I got some here. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, so that's
like a latex or like a plastic?
You know what? I think it's actually it's on my truck. But anyways, yeah, it's just like I don't know what you would call that. It's kind of stiff, but like I said, it's got a hole in it. You just thread it on the hook. So I mean, I like it this way. That way, if I want no flash, then I don't add it. If I want some flash, then of course I just thread that there on the hook.
That is
you can
awesome.
get them. Yeah, you can get them with gold blades or the chrome there. But that's the ones that I use.
So there's no like metal backing or anything in there like you would.
No. Yeah, it's flexible. Like I said, I'm not sure what that is. I guess it's some sort of rubber or whatever. It's all flexible. And they come in 2 different sizes here, or 2 different styles, depending on your hook size. One's more stiffer than the other, so it doesn't get hung up. So you just look on the site there, and you'll see which one you need for whatever hook size that you're using. But yeah, it's a pretty slick deal there. Well, you don't have to carry a bunch of jig heads and a bunch of underspins. You can just carry a bunch of extra blades in the heads and make them up as you need them,
So B-Huff, to answer your question, like fishing from the bank, I'll throw a weedless underspin. Like, so for example, the owner Flashy, the underspin, but it's got that little tiny wire on. I don't have one here by me, and I don't know how many of those wires I broke, because it's just it's a real tiny light wire, and I broke a ton of those. So then you'll just have essentially a belly weighted swim bait hook after it breaks. They sell replacements, but a big advantage I could see to that like rubbery deal that Jim was showing is you're not going to break that. You're not going to break rubber, right?
Right.
I mean, unless you get snagged.
To go off what you're saying here.
Go ahead.
Oh, you're good, bud. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I've thrown the Berkeley underspins. Deebo, I know I've told you before. I really like them. I don't know what they're called, but I do know that they are. I don't want to say fragile, but out of the underspins that I've thrown, those are the ones that obviously haven't got stuck in a log and I've lost altogether, but they've broken off the actual underspin part of it.
Yeah.
Even though I like them, I would still go back and, buy them again, but I wish that they have a little bit better durability, I guess.
That's kind of why I went to this style here, because I was throwing these for a while. These are from Picasso as well. But like Deebo was saying, these wires here would just break off so easy. Yeah. And then you're down to just a bare jig head. So I just figured, why not go to something like this, make them up on the fly, and they're just more durable than the wires.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna look it up quick. I don't know what category it's under on Berkeley, but yeah, those are cool underspins. But yeah, man, those rubber deals would be sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I've not seen those before.
Yep.
And the cool thing is you could use whatever sort of swim bait head. So like those Picasso heads look kind of like the Sixth Sense, which have like a screw lock on them. So you could use it like if you have a screw lock you like, or if you have a certain whatever your favorite swim bait head is, you can just pop that thing on, and that's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
I'll check those out.
Somebody said Berkeley Fusion. I think that's probably,
is that what it is?
Sounds about right.
Fusion, yeah. Okay. Chad's still in here. Chad, what are you still doing lingering in here? There's a country Georgia. I'm way behind.
Oh, Deebo, real quick. Somebody had asked me. I've seen it a couple of times now.
Yeah, go ahead.
A condition, a rhyme or a reason, I guess you would say, of when I wouldn't throw a jig. There isn't one. I'm literally going to throw a jig anytime. Creek and Trail Chronicles. Honestly, I will throw a jig anytime. It doesn't matter if it's the right place or the wrong place, or the right water, wrong water. I'm gonna throw a jig. Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna do it just because I'm that kind of person. I'm not like, Deebo is very meticulous about this is what you use here and here and here and here and here. I'm just gonna be like, this feels right for me, so I'm just gonna throw it. So there's nothing that's gonna stop me from throwing a jig, is what I'm saying.
If it feels right, embrace it there, Randall. I support you.
Heck yeah.
And why is Jim looking so tan and handsome, and I'm looking like I haven't seen sun for 5 months? Jim,
I think I already got a sunburn.
Good Lord, you handsome devil.
Just that Italian skin, dude. I tan easy in the sun.
Oh, okay. So James, can you guys all see that comment? Does it show up to everybody in chat too? I hope that shows up, or else I've just been lying to everyone.
I think it does. I think Fluke Master uses the same deal, and you can see all the comments that he puts on there as well.
Okay, that's what I want. I didn't know if it was just us three or if everybody can see it. Hopefully everybody can see it. But so James asked how much y'all use red lures in the spring. So I didn't believe in red lures. I still remember the day. It was like probably 5 years ago. Randy and I were riding in the truck together, and I said, I'm going to throw a red lipless because everybody talks about it. And I just didn't buy into it. I'm like, there's no red crawfish around here. It's not Texas. We've got, rusty craws. We don't have any bright red craws like you see the cats catching in Texas. And I'm like, just joking about it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to throw a red lipless, Randy. Ha, ha, ha. And then I caught like 6 on it. And I'm like, oh, crap. Yeah, maybe this is a deal. And that day, like 5 years ago, was the turning point for me. It works. And I've heard a whole bunch. I feel bad. Hellabass isn't in here, but he's a good cat. If you haven't followed his channel, he's a nice guy. He helped me with some streamer questions. But he did a video on the red, and I've heard everything from you'll see bass with like the pink lips because they're eating red crawfish. They're focused on crawfish. Red in the spring, fish see, or bass specifically, see in a different color spectrum than us. So red like shows up better than other colors. I've heard, there's a ton of different things out there, and I don't know what to believe. Obviously we don't have any red crawfish around here in Iowa. So it's like, it has to be something different. And I don't know if it stands out better, or I don't know, but yeah, red works. I finally bought into it like 5 years ago after never throwing red lures. I know guys throw like a red kicker blade, which is like the little blade on a spinnerbait. I don't know. What do you guys think? It works.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Jim's got one right there. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, that's crazy. I looked at those spinnerbaits. I saw that little, different colored bait or blade. And I'm like, why? Well, I'm never going to do that. And, kind of along the same lines as Deebo, that obviously I was there. He's like, I'm going to throw this lipless, this red lipless. And I'm like, man, okay. And I actually, remember kicking myself for not taking my crankbait rod, which would have gone perfectly for a lipless crankbait in the red color, and thrown it on something else because Deebo was just mopping them up on it. I don't get it. And, Deebo, there was that one video that we did where, you were a bully and picked up that, red claw, or not red claw, but it was a blue craw. And, you chucking up my face and whatnot. But we get a lot more black and blue craws around here than what we do red craws, you know, especially spring, fall, versus what's in the summer. So it's crazy when you get that kind of stuff and you just throw it, and it, for whatever reason, it just works.
Yeah. Jim, what are your thoughts?
For me, to be honest, man, I kind of agree with you guys. You know, I didn't really understand the whole thing, but I guess with the watercolor that I fish, pretty stained and muddy majority of the time. Red was just a color that always kind of stood out. I mean, I throw them in the spring, I throw them all summer, fall. I mean, red's a color that I always have tied on just because it's pretty visible in the muddier water, you know.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, we'll answer Crazy Quorum's deal here. Thoughts on Fluker reels. So I have nothing against Fluker itself. I had a couple Fluker presidents that both pooped out on me. What I did have a problem with was Fluker's customer service. It's a long story, but basically the way it ends is you'll never see another Fluker reel on my channel. I like Fluker reels. I've used other Fluker reels, but yeah, long story. I won't use another one on my channel. And again, like we were just talking about, is they're a umbrella company under Pure Fishing. So, you know, I use Abu. I like some Abu stuff. It's, you know, whatever. 6 one, half dozen the other.
You have to tell me that story another time.
I will. It basically was the customer service. And I've had this with a few companies. So, okay, so background is I work at a very large insurance firm. I'm a operations manager. So we see a lot of like the highest escalated stuff, right? So for me, if I get something in my lap, it's like as high as it can be. And I need to either work with lawyers or our compliance department or somebody to fix it, right? Because the downstream effect is the only person that's impacted is the customer, the client, right? The person. So as a company, you can say, well, we don't do that. Sorry, we're not going to take that risk. And the only person you're screwing over is the client. So basically, I had a couple of Fluker reels that got on me. I had one, you know, and I'm any company, I don't care what it is. You've got a certain percentage of reels that are going to be, you know, work fine. And you're going to have some that just don't work right. And that's fine to me. And I had one of those and I took it back. It was I bought it at Gander when Gander was still in business. Took it back. And then I got another one that was a lemon and I didn't get to use it for over 30 days. And basically the Gander said, you know what, you have to work with the company now. It's past 30 days. It didn't go well. I was highly displeased with their customer service and I won't use them again. Nothing against Fluker. I know a lot of people say Fluker President is like the best budget spinning reel out there, but for me being an operations customer service guy, that means a lot to me. So.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Let's see.
I'm the same boat when it comes to Daiwa, just saying.
Yeah, Randy had the same thing with Daiwa. He had a couple bad experiences with Daiwa and they didn't take care of him. So.
Really?
Yep.
So my guy G Fan Kim dropped a donation with just a thumbs up. Thank you very much, brother. He's always in our live streams. And then Mark said, so the people at Okuma are talking about Deebo, like you're going to be on their pro staff. Is this a thing? I have talked to Okuma. They're great people. They've sent me some stuff to try out. I will be using some more of their stuff this year. Prior to that, I've really only used some spinning reels. I've had it was actually, ice fishing stuff I got this year. Prior to that, it was Tackle Advisors who shared a link. It was the old Okuma Epixer that I picked up on sale on Amazon for like $30, which is a steal. And I've had that reel for probably, I don't know, 3 years. Solid reel. I was just talking to Jim about some stuff. I know Jim's been a big Okuma guy using their stuff. And I just got their Komodo out to test and then the Helios. And they make some sweet stuff. So I'm excited to test some more of theirs. Go ahead, Randall.
No, I was just going to say, I was just looking at some of the comments here and they're pretty funny and they're pretty spot on. And, you know, I just like this is really a great time for, you know, just people to get a chance to be able to talk to us. Not like we're like super awesome, famous people by any means, but it's like, dude, if you want to come and talk to me and just be like, hey, what's up? What do you do here? What do you do there? you know, dude, come and ask me, come and, you know, just bend my ear. I don't care. Let's talk. I love fishing and I love talking about fishing, and you come and talk to me, I'm going to talk to you about fishing. So
I agree, Randall. That's the thing, is like, I feel like there are some YouTubers that put themselves on a pedestal, like above other people. Like, I know how to fish, and like, if you don't know how to, here's how to fish. If you're not doing it, you're not doing it right. And there's other guys that are just like, I just like to fish, and we're here to fish and have fun.
Right.
And I like that. You know, I'm a guy. I'm not a pro. I don't have a fancy bass boat. We, you know, all three of us just like to fish, and there's a lot of people out there like that. And I know all three of us get questions. I'm behind on my stuff, but we'll all try to answer questions.
I mean, I guarantee if me and Deebo go out and fish, I'm like 100% going to talk trash to him the entire time, even though he's probably going to outfish me, unless we're jig fishing. Then it's a different story.
Right. Exactly. Noxie Outdoors says, can I have a shout out? Noxie Outdoors, here's your shout out. And I can't believe we just had 300 and some people on here. I didn't realize we were at an hour and 6 minutes. I'm still doing a giveaway. Some Deebo jigs. I'm not a master yet, but I'm tying some finesse jigs. Some crankbaits and stuff here in a little bit. We'll draw for one of those. We're going to keep answering questions. For example, the real question is, what is TJ's workout routine? Looking buff, man. TJ, what are you doing? You pumping?
I usually go, usually hit the gym a few days a week, but actually starting last week, I've been going every day. But
damn,
about it, man.
I haven't worked out for like a year.
I wash trucks for a living, and like I said, I probably wash 500 trucks a week. So I mean, that definitely helps out with building a little muscle. Yeah, we wash for FedEx. So I mean, you know, I'll go over there on a Monday and a Tuesday. You know, we'll wash 100 trucks every day we go there. So I mean, it gets pretty busy. Insane. So just brushing trucks and holding the pressure wands all day long. I mean, I don't even really need to go to the gym to get strong doing that all day. You know.
Just real quick story, as it relates to that, the pressure washer, you know, one of my very first jobs when I was, I think, 13, I was like, my job was to test them to make sure that they came, you know, okay from the factory. So I'm spraying, and I'm like sitting there and I'm thinking, how hard is that spraying? So I'm like with the nozzle spraying, and I'm like, and it sliced my finger open. Yeah. So just FYI, public service announcement, don't get in front of a power washer as it's being sprayed, because it will cut you open.
Why would you even try that?
I was like 13, man. Why wouldn't I try it?
And you can just peel up asphalt with them too. I mean, they got some pressure.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right, as I watched it pulling up freaking gravel and stuff like that, I'm
demonetized. Thanks, Randall. We're demonetized.
As I watch it like pulling up.
Hopefully there's a delay.
Like, man, why wouldn't I just throw my finger in front of it just to see what happens? And I remember wrapping it. I actually cut off a piece of my t-shirt, wrapped my finger up, and it was like, oh, I'm gonna go home for lunch now, like holding my hand, like bleeding profusely as I walk home to my house like 4 blocks away.
So Michael asked, Seaguar Red Label, I don't know if this is before, I'm sorry, I'm way behind on comments, but yeah, Seaguar Red Label I think is one of the best budget 100% fluoros out there. Jim, I don't know if you have another.
I personally haven't used the Red Label. I use the InvizX.
What?
But, yeah,
You've never used Red Label?
I've never used it. No, I went. To be honest, one of the first fluorocarbons I ever used was the Bass Pro Shops fluorocarbon, and that was really good. I just got a hold of a couple bad batches, and at that time, Bass Pro had recommended the InvizX. This could have been 12, 15 years ago, saying just how they can kind of compare that line to that one there. And to be honest, what I was looking at is the line diameter, and the diameter is much smaller in the Seaguar InvizX compared to the Bass Pro Shop. So I went with that one. I never looked back. I really haven't tried many fluorocarbons other than the InvizX and the AbrazeX. But as far as cheaper ones go, I really haven't tried any.
Okay. Yeah, and I know there's a bunch of them out there. People ask about like the Berkeley Vanish versus PLine Fluoroclear. The thing you have to remember is like a lot of those are fluorocarbon coated, so they're not a true 100% fluorocarbon line. you know, there's a number of lines out there I've used and tested, but I think as far as like just a straight 100% fluorocarbon Seaguar Red Label, you have to remember it's not going to be as soft as something like, you know, like the for example, the Fluoroclear or the Trilene Red, you know, the red box. Those are really soft, supple lines, but once you get into actually, you know, using a full 100% fluorocarbon line, it's going to kind of feel wiry, stiff, and I know a lot of people just aren't used to that. So, you know, be aware and be ready for that. But
and you always hear so many guys talk about, you know, the Palomar Knot with fluorocarbon, and to be honest, I can't even think of. I've only actually that I can think of have ever broke off at the knot with fluorocarbon. That was when a fish jumped by the boat. The weight had jumped up there and shocked the knot, and I broke off. Other than that, I can't say I've ever broke off at the knot with InvizX. I think that's just another reason as well. I mean, there is tricks to tying the Palomar Knot correctly. If you tie it wrong, obviously, you're going to, I'm sure, snap off with no matter what fluorocarbon you're using. But since I've always had such great luck with the InvizX, it's like I didn't want to really try anything else just because I don't have any issues with knots and the Palomar Knot, you know, like I said, with this line. So I've always just kind of stuck with it.
Yep. We had Lucian send another donation, said, just a response to Dizzle. This setup is awesome. The live stream Q&A works so well here. It's fantastic as fans to be able to interact.
100%.
That's, yeah. Thank you very much, man. That's huge. Go ahead.
Real quick. God, I was trying to remember the name. Alfred, I think was the last name. Something about a white lure setup. I'll be honest. Deebo and I went out one day with my buddy, old Johnny, and he was throwing a white jig head with a white skirt with a white trailer, and he dipped the trailer, I want to say, in either like a yellow. No, it was red, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was red. I was just gonna say, I think it was red.
Yep. So he dipped the tip of the craw tips in red, and he was catching that. And and by the way, old Johnny was the guy that taught me how to throw a jig. So he's like the OG, triple OG kind of guy when it comes to jig fishing, as far as I'm concerned. But he was, I'm going to throw this white on white with a red tip, man. And I don't know why, but for some odd reason, the fish will actually just attack it. I don't know. I know one day, Deebo, me and you went out and fished, and it was a long struggle of a day. And I just happened to have some white skirts for whatever reason that I threw on a jig and threw a trailer on it and was tossing it out, and they started hitting it also. So it's like a white on white with a little bit of color in it. It's going to catch some stuff. So
yeah. So the thing, like the weird thing is, you know, obviously guys will throw a white swim jig or chatterbait around, you know, shad spawns or anywhere, you know, where they think a white will do well. But like I'm talking, you know, Rand Izzle's talking regular finesse jig, you know, that he throws, you know, like the War Eagle style little, you know, tiny finesse round ball head, all white with a white trailer. And his buddy Johnny was catching him on him. Randy caught him on him, and it's just weird, like throwing an all white jig on the bottom, you know, bouncing an all white jig. You don't hear guys talk about that, but
you know, that kind of goes along with what. No, actually, no. It wasn't clear. It was a little stained, but that kind of goes along with what my philosophy is just throw something different. Just because it doesn't fit the mold to, you know, throw X, Y, and Z color, just throw it anyway. What's going to be the worst thing that's going to happen? You're not going to catch anything.
Right.
Best case scenario, you catch some fish. So.
Says Jose sent and I'm way behind on comments. I'm sorry, guys. I'm bad at this, keeping up on stuff. We get to chatting, but Jose said, if you're allowed to use your stimulus money to buy any setup, what rod and reel would you get? Gosh, and I've said this before. People ask me this all the time, and I'm like, that's trying to ask me what's my favorite potato chip flavor. I like
barbecue.
No, I can't pick one. I mean, there's so many good ones
honey
out
mustard.
There. It's gonna, Randall, you're not helping the cause here.
I'd go with Doritos, to be honest with you.
Oh my god. Okay, moving on. Anyway, there's a lot of good ones out there. Okay, so
Cool Ranch, dude. I could go for some Cool Ranch, man.
Oh my gosh, you jokers. So the big thing is, a lot of people, don't consider it anymore. I know we're kind of in the electronic virtual world of, you know, buying stuff, but a lot of it is how it fits in your hand. And I don't think enough people talk about that. Like, I can tell you, okay, this is a BA reel and a BA rod, and it's each of them is $250. It's a $500 combo. But if you put it in your hand and it sucks, like it doesn't feel comfortable, you're not going to want to fish it, whether it's $1,000 combo or a brick. Yeah,
I agree.
If it doesn't fit your hand, you're not going to want to fish it. So, I mean, that's where a lot of it is. You've got to hold some of them. You've got to try some different ones, you know, and just see, you know, try to talk to different people, get different opinions.
But realistically, you got to put it in your hand.
And going off what you said, I mean, we were talking about the Curado DC earlier. You know, I love that reel, but for me, it's not a reel like I would want to crank with or spinnerbaits with, because it's not all that comfortable in hand for me.
Yeah,
but it's fantastic
bigger,
for
that DC inside it. It's going to make it a bigger, heavier reel.
Yeah,
right?
So.
Like I've come across a couple of combos recently that are like, it feels like I have nothing in my hand. And I could fish with those things all day long. But what I've actually started to notice while I've fished with those is I feel like I'm gripping it harder and harder because it doesn't feel like there's anything there. So I start to get like a little bit of fatigue in my hand, and I start to get a little cramp in my hand, where it's got to be that I don't want it super heavy. I don't want it super light. You want that middle of the road, like perfectness. I mean, it's a weird thing to say, but like you have to have that right thing, especially if you're going to be out fishing for 8 hours a day. You want something that feels good and doesn't fatigue.
It's going to depend on the person for sure. Kevin, I think I missed you. I'm sorry if I did with the donation. Thank you very much, man. I threw that up there. Just want to make sure I call everybody out. I did see somebody else ask a question. Okay, so I know for me, Mr. Nukes, what's your favorite spinnerbait color for stained water? I'm a huge proponent of white and chartreuse. Like, that's been a favorite for me since I was younger. Whatever it is, white and chartreuse. I know both you guys throw spinnerbaits. What's your go-to?
I'd agree with that, but for me, for muddy water, I'd go both gold blades. And to be honest, even in muddy water, majority guys will recommend like a Colorado. I still have the best luck with willow blades. I just think the vibration and the overall profile that they give off is similar to if you have like shad in the lake. So for me, like I said, something white, chartreuse as well, but I got to have gold blades.
I'm trying to sit here and think of what the actual color is. And sorry, it's another War Eagle product, but it's a War Eagle spinnerbait. It's white, like almost like a baby blue and a chartreuse. So it's probably like almost like a sexy shad type of color.
Got that in a box. Man. I don't have it with me. I have my box outside.
I love that thing.
Hold on.
Let's see what you guys can. Oh, Deebo. Let's see who gets it.
I think the size blades on that one. I haven't thrown these yet.
Let's see what this is here.
Oh, the Omega there. But look how big the blades are.
Come on now.
That's like a number. I think
I'm not going to go with blades. I'm not going to go with blades that big. If you throw a little bit of blue in there too, just the blue is the only thing that's missing out of there. Yeah. That's like, that's a sexy spin.
And I normally don't. I think it's number 6 or 7. Normally 4.5 is the biggest blade I throw. But like this is what they offer there on the Megas there. But that definitely should give you some thump out of a willow blade for sure.
That's a huge. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's big.
I know. I like literally. I just looked at it because next to those special scissors in the door of my truck, Deebo, there is that spinnerbait sitting right there from, unfortunately, last season. It's not like all rusted out or anything like that, but it's sitting right there. And I so badly wanted to tie that thing on today because I know it is a fish slayer.
Okay, so I just did a random pick, and it's going to be this one. Drew Outdoors. If you're still on, comment below. I'll have to go down to the most recent stuff. Just did a random pick, and you are the winner. So you're going to get some hand-tied Deebo jigs, a couple cranks. I'll make up a little box and send to you. So, Drew, if you're still in, comment below.
Looks like he's I see him right here at 8:48. He might still be on here.
Okay. I know I'm way behind, but I just did a random scroll and pick, and he's who I landed on.
Drew, I think some of those jigs might be mine. So
I've got some Randizzle stuff held aside. You're all right. Let's see. So we're at an hour 19. Man, the time goes too dang fast. I figured we'd be at like 45 minutes.
Right.
So let's see. Yeah, Jim, Randy, do you guys have any questions while we're going through? I'm going to go through and look for some good stuff. But any
I just saw a Garrett Dawson about an ultralight combo. That's way, way, way outside of my wheelhouse. I have no idea about an ultralight combo. I have had some in the past, but I don't even know. I don't even know how to throw one, really.
Drew is in here. I just scrolled down to the bottom real quick to make sure you're in here. Drew, hit me up on Instagram. If you don't have an Insta account, let me know in the comments after I post this. But hit me up on Instagram, and I will get you your package. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody else. We've still got almost 300 people in here. This is crazy. So let's see. Let me go back up to the top now. I scroll all the way to the bottom. I was like probably 20 minutes behind. So people asking, I know a lot of people have been asking baits. I'm going to do a spring lures video. I know people are asking like, what should I throw in spring? And that's a tough question because it depends where you're at. Like when I have people hit me up on Instagram, I'm usually asking, what's your watercolor and what's your water temp? Right. Because if you're in Florida, you've already got bass spawning versus if you're in Michigan, you've got stuff just thawing out. I saw Burley just caught like a 3.5 pounder in his kayak. I was a little jealous. Yeah, and it's like
on
weird
a Ned, right?
Yeah, on a Ned. Yeah. And it's like I've got guys out in Rhode Island like a couple days ago that are catching fish open water, and most of my places here aren't even unthawed yet. Like only the little tiny ponds are unthawed. So I don't like it's weird, absolutely weird. But I'll try to answer those questions as I go and try to do a video on some of the stuff I use. But depends. Depends where you're at.
I think Ray EB had a comment that you would probably love, which is a dedicated pike video.
Yeah, for sure. We can use some dedicated pike stuff. I got a combo that I set up. So I've got like a couple big musky combos. I've not caught any huge pike, like 30 inches or the biggest I've caught around here, which is still a decent size, but I've got a couple smaller combos and would like to do some dedicated pike stuff. So
we've looked into some pretty good pike over the years here.
Deebo, you mentioned him earlier here. You're probably up on comments. Hellabass is on now.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm way back. I saw my guy Gizmo's in here. Let's see what Gizmo had to say. Crawfish to the shell before you show the hard and because you're keeping white. Yeah, that's a good point. So Gizmo, I think, was talking about back when we were talking about the white jigs. So when crawfish molt, if any of you have had like a hermit crab or any sort of things that, will molt and shed their skin, they'll get to be like a creamy white, real light color when their shell is real soft and stuff still. Crawfish do that. There's like a certain, I guess, crawfish hatch. It's like, what is it? The first full moon of May, I want to say here.
Of retrograde of Mercury. Yep. That's right around there.
Yes. But anyway, where you'll just see tons of crawfish up on the shore. Like it's been a few years ago, but you'll see those little dudes just crawling around everywhere. So yeah, maybe that's what it was, is, some white crawfish. I don't know. What else do we have? If any of you guys see questions, jump in. I know we'll probably go to about an hour 30 here. We've still got 300 people in here watching. So we'll give it another 8 minutes.
Drew wants to know if you can do a Gmail.
Yeah. Drew, Debos Fishing at gmail.com. And just email me. Debos Fishing at gmail.com. So I know we've got people talking about Catfish Billy said, Deebo, the War Eagle finesse jigs, where can I find them? It's a good question. I don't know. Randy probably bought them all. There's a number of, so like the deal with the fishing industry, going into this year, last year with the COVID shutdowns and stuff, like supply chains have been completely cut. So it might not necessarily be the actual brand that's behind, but you've got, if you've got parts coming from different parts of the world, you might have some stuff coming from Taiwan or China, Japan, US to assemble, whatever it is, there's places that are behind. So I know a lot of companies, you look at boats, you look at lures, stuff is pushed out way out, into the year. So it might just be a supply chain thing. I know a lot of the retail places are getting their stuff first. So look up places like Tackle Warehouse, Bass Pro Shops. Usually they're going to be the first big dogs in line to get tackle stuff. So look there. Go ahead, Randy.
I was going to say, I went on that video that we did where I broke my, unfortunately, I went to roll cast my Avid St. Croix Avid rod, and it snapped off right above the reel. I want to say that probably took a month and a half or 2 months to get that back to me, just because the blanks were so far behind for St. Croix, or whatever they needed to be able to make the blanks, to be able to make the rod, to be able to get it back to me, is just so far behind. So, I mean, best of luck if you go out and you see something that you think might be a good catch, or you think that might work well for you in whatever waters you might be fishing. I don't want to say, drain your bank account to buy all of it, but you might want to buy an extra 1 or 2 of them just to be sure that you don't, unfortunately kick yourself the next time you go back to buy one.
Right.
Just talking with some of the companies that I kind of work with, and they're just saying that I think it was like last year, 19 million more people are fishing now than before, and they just can't keep things in stock. If you buy direct from a company, that's where the problem is. Like you were saying, if you buy from Tackle Warehouse, they're going to get the stuff first, all the retailers. But if you try to buy direct, as soon as the stuff comes in, it's going out. There's nothing really left for them to sell. You have to go to the retailers. They're just so many more people fishing now, so that's more people buying versus the year before.
So many more minnows being bought.
So they said fishing license sales are up like 40%. So I mean, it's a lot more people fishing.
Yeah, depends on the state and stuff, but so Iverson, I'll finally answer your question since you asked 5,700,000 times in the comments. Thoughts on brown crankbait? Brown crankbaits, red crankbaits, crawfish colored crankbaits, great in the spring.
Brown red.
Yep. And there's certain times where like a brown orange will do really well without getting into the weeds. Spring, give those a throw. They will definitely catch and work for sure, man. Okay, so Drew sent the email. Thank you, Drew, for sending the email. I will check that here in a second. Let's see. So Nathan Ridge's Bass Geek recommended Nichols lures, and they had some pretty tasty looking finesse jigs. I've got a couple of the Nichols finesse jigs. I haven't used them. Nichols makes some killer spinner baits for sure. I've used the Pulsator for a long time. I forget what the Nichols is. They have like a regular brush jig. I couldn't tell you what it is off the top of my head. Nichols makes some great stuff for sure.
Somebody just posted something about Bass Pro Shop. Isn't the Bassmaster Classic sale thing? Is that this weekend?
It's going on now.
Is it going on now?
Right now? Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought I saw an email about it.
Do they have the Pro Qualifier for sale?
Usually it's only on sale for like $80.
Oh, that's kind of crummy.
I don't know. Or like a couple years ago, it was 50.
Yeah, they probably can't get enough now that they can't go that low.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
that much. Because they probably don't have the stock to do it.
And this is the first year that I think it's ever been that high. It's usually at least 60 or 70.
Yeah, for sure. I know when you recommended that special edition blue and whatever, I bought one for $49. Half off, and they probably literally just can't afford to do it now. Right. Josh asked thoughts on 6 Sense lures. Yeah, I've done a couple unboxings from 6 Sense. I haven't used a ton of their stuff, but I mean, hands down, probably some of the best paint jobs in the crankbait industry. Beautiful looking stuff off the bat. They come with good hooks on them that you don't have to change. But there's just a lot of stuff I haven't used. The Provoke, I have a lot of confidence with the Provoke jerkbait. But like I got some of their jerk baits and crankbaits and stuff. I just haven't used enough of them. But yeah, obviously they make really good stuff. Let's see. People talking about the biffle bug. I saw somebody here. I'm the weirdo that caught a muskie on the biffle bug. So funny enough, like muskie are weird. And I would say 8 out of 10 people that I talk to catch a muskie on the lakes around here when they're bass fishing. So like, for example, last year I was going to meet my buddy Brando to do he was in his John boat. I was in mine. And we met 2 guys at the dock. One guy's like, yeah, I caught a muskie on a wacky rig. And the other guy's like, yeah, I caught a muskie on a jig. And like, there's guys out there throwing 12-inch 8-inch, whatever, big, huge swim baits and not catch the muskies.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe you need to throw bass stuff and try to target muskie. I don't know. I've tried targeting them with the big stuff, and the only time I've ever caught muskies is on bass stuff. Spinnerbait. What else have I caught them on?
Yep, no, I'll 100% agree. I would say the only time I've ever been hooked up on a muskie is it was in a tourney with old Johnny, and I was pitching a war eagle up against the shore, and out of nowhere this fish just comes up and grabs it and starts tearing line, and I go to set the hook and just pops right off.
Yep. So let's see. Darren Curtis says Cabela's has the War Eagle heavy finesse jig in stock. So I would hit up Cabela's, which is also Bass Pro now.
Don't go there. Don't go to that website. Nobody looking at it.
Randy's going to be on there as soon as we get off. Okay, closing thoughts. We're at an hour 30. Still have like 290 people in here. Closing thoughts from you fellas. Any questions you want to answer? Any things you want to talk about?
I'm ready to catch some fish. I know that.
I am ready to catch some more water fish too.
The only thing I would say is, the same thing I preached over and over and over again is honestly just get out and fish. Right. Just go out. If you got 20 minutes, if you got an hour, if you got 2 hours, 3 hours, a full day, just go out and fish, man. It's, you're not hurting anything. If you have the time and it's literally spare time, go out and fish. Do something. You're getting that fresh air. You're getting the vitamin D from the sun, and just go out and enjoy life. Fish.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Don't overthink it. Like, some people can fish for a living and have all that time on the water. And I have multiple people reach out to me and say, well, I've only got a couple hours. I'm not even going to go out. Anytime you've got, go out and fish. Fishing is a game of numbers. There's been somebody, I'm sorry, I don't remember who you were. I was just talking to on Instagram today that was like, I fished for 4 hours and didn't catch fish until the last 45 minutes and caught a 3.5 pounder and, whatever else. Get out, fish, catch fish. That's what it's about. Ray dropped another donation. Ray, thank you very much. I'll be hitting you up here soon. But
Ray, you're awesome. I mean, I've fished for days and haven't caught fish. So just literally get out and fish. There's no reason why you shouldn't.
Agreed. That's going to be it from us tonight. Jim, Randizzle, myself, I know we all appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for jumping on to watch. We appreciate you all. And until next time, right?
Appreciate you guys.
Yep.